Great.
Happy weekend, happy Friday sa inyong lahat at welcome po muli sa isa namang episode ng SEA Games Diaries. Panglimang interview natin for today. For tonight, rather, kasi gabi na po. It's already 7 p.m.-ish. And we have
Yeah.
with us Gabe Dinette, Gabriel Dinette. Actually, I am Gabriel too, by the way. And
Yeah.
so we're both archangels, right? Gabe Dinette of the Philippines wrestling team who just won the gold medal, the only gold medal in the recent Southeast Asian Games. We'd like to tell also his story of his recent decision to represent the Philippines, uh, the home country of their distant relatives, and of course, his road to the LA Olympics. Apart from our observations that sa kanyang SEA Games campaign. Gabe, welcome to Sports Corner. Thank you for joining us for the first time.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Super cool, and I'm excited to talk to you and hang out for sure.
All right, and thank you so much for your accepting the invitation to talk about your SEA Games journey and, of course, what do we expect come 2026 season for you. But first of all, I'd like to greet you. Congratulations on your recent SEA Games gold medal. And this is actually the only gold medal in your debut for the SEA Games because many of our SEA Games athletes are first timers in this competition. What was going to your mind that all of the efforts, all of the sacrifices were paid off? No words can express how admire you are with your victory, and which is a plus also for the Philippine wrestling scene as a whole.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we had a training camp in Japan before. So I was in Japan for a couple weeks training out there with their national team, which was really good, preparing us for the SEA Games. So we thank like the government for being able to sponsor us to that. And then yeah, traveling to Thailand was great. Definitely, like you said, airports and travel make things different and difficult, but it's all good because the wrestling's the same. So just focused on training and feeling good for the competition. And it was fun to be there with some other rookies, as they call us, for our debuts. So, and then also some of the veterans like Renil, Dubag, and like our coaches, Alvin, and all of them. So that was helpful too. And like Jason Balkas, who is Greco, and those guys who have been there before. So they were able to kind of help us understand like what the environment's like and what we'll be going up against. So that was really good. And Coach Johnny as well.
It seems so powerful you are after that Japan training camp, and of course, you're looking ready now for the SEA Games campaign. But before we add into the preparations wise, for those who are barely new about you, because you are the new one of the newcomers in the Philippine wrestling team, can you share to us your wrestling journey and what was your reason behind your decision to represent your relatives' home country after years of being a collegiate wrestler back in the U.S. You played in the U.S. NCAA before, and I just heard also, I just learned that you also came in a sports-oriented family. Your father is a wrestler, right?
Yep. Yeah. And my older brother.
So, could you share to us your story way before the time that you decided to play for the Philippines?
Totally. Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, my dad was a wrestler. We kind of did all sports growing up when I was little. Football, basketball, baseball, all of that. So, I started getting into wrestling when I was about 8 years old. My brother was 10. So we were always partners and could battle each other and train each other, which was good. And then, yeah, that was the sport that kind of stuck going into high school, which is when I kind of more focused on wrestling. And so I was in Colorado in the US. And so, yeah, started focusing more on wrestling then in high school and then transitioned over into college where I wrestled at Stanford University and then Duke University. And so my dad also wrestled at Stanford. So that was a cool experience for sure to kind of follow his in his footsteps. And then wrestling for Duke was also super amazing experience. And like you said, the collegiate USA folk style too is different from what we do here at the Olympics. And so like the Olympic style. So it kind of has its own benefits and takeaways a little bit for like transitioning to freestyle, but it's all good and kind of definitely I think helped me while training in the US was like it helped with my conditioning and kind of my overall just like training aspect. So that was really helpful. And then, like you said, so once I graduated college, I had lots of injuries in college. I tore my left elbow. I tore my right elbow twice, two different times, one surgery after the other. I've had shoulder surgery. And so lots of surgeries and kind of painful moments through wrestling. Um, and so once I graduated, I didn't want to stop wrestling. I wanted to keep going, wanted to keep pursuing it. I felt like in college I was never able to reach my potential because of all the injuries and rehab. And so I took like 2 years off to just get healthy and recover from all my surgeries and everything. And during that time, I was thinking like, okay, how do I want to keep pursuing this sport that I love so much? And kind of through that process, um, through talking with my family and really kind of tapping into like my roots and where I was from. Because that's kind of when you're in those dark spots of, surgeries and not feeling like it's over, you really have to go fall back on your roots and who you are and where you came from. And so that's kind of what then drew into that Filipino culture and that side and resilience and strength and determination. And so through that, I was like, dang, let's try and see this process of competing for the Philippines, like a country that I love, we love, and is a part of me. And so that process started with basically just trying to cold call people that I knew who like had some connections to see how the process would get started. And it took a total of about a couple years to kind of, well, probably like a year and a half to get everything finalized and settled in. But yeah, I got the citizenship through my Lola, um, and then passed down to my mom, and then got was able to get the passport and dual citizenship for me. And so once that happened too, I was able to, before that even too, I was able to come to the Philippines and train with the team. I met the coaches and all the athletes and kind of built those relationships, which was super cool. Um, and it's just great people and great teammates to be competing with also. And so then when I got the citizenship, it kind of kicked off, okay, what tournaments and competitions do we want to start going to? And so right away we found one that was closer to the US for the first one. And it was in Mexico City, where I actually even wrestled Greco when I normally do freestyle. But it was a great competition. I ended up taking third place, bronze medal in my first international competition, and doing Greco, which I hadn't done since like high school. So that was a really cool experience and getting used to, like you said, those travel airports and that sort of thing. And so then from there was able to travel to world championships and then also the Philippine Nationals, which was the big one. Because that would then help me make the team to then go and compete in Thailand.
Just a follow-up nga lang, one of the reasons that why you've been eligible to play, aside nga from getting the Filipino citizenship, it's because of your Lola. And of course, you actually managed to reconnect with your distant relatives in your home province. Did you actually frequently communicated with them? And even at one point, they cheered you online when you saw competing at the recent SEA Games?
Yes, yes, and they were even able to come to Tagaytay for the Filipino Nationals. And so, yeah, that was really special and cool because that side of my family, from even my wife's side, was able to come and watch. And so, super special and just a really neat opportunity um, to have that connection back as well. So, yeah.
So this nationals of WAP in Tagaytay is your first competition in the country, and tell us more how challenging it was for you to compete not in the US, not internationally, but in your relatives' home country. And afterwards, I just learned also that you see competing international competitions to gain extra points extra rankings, and of course, to help strengthen your bid for a medal in the SEA Games?
Totally. Yeah. So first competing in home country, Philippines, I was super excited. It was something that was such a cool opportunity when it came and presented itself. And just like, yeah, I was super excited to kind of start that and get after it. And so when as like the travel came and everything, it was definitely different as far as competing in US or even in some of those international competitions, like you said, because there's a more excitement and how I don't want to say more pressure, but just like more eyes on you, watching you to compete at your best level, and you want to compete at that best level. And so that could add a little bit of pressure, but it also can help strengthen who you are and your preparation that you'll fall back on. And so that's kind of what I honed in on when starting to feel that I'm like, all right, I'm here and I'm here to win. I'm here to get after it and I'm here to wrestle and do my best, right? Like that's the biggest thing. I just wanted to compete my best and compete my hardest, whether I won or lost. I was obviously there to win, but um, just always there to just do my best. I hadn't wrestled in a while. That was my first competition too in a while, doing freestyle since my injuries. So um, yeah, it was just super exciting and just an amazing experience to be able to have family and people experience that with me.
Okay, so you were registered in the 86 kilograms category. Uh,
Totally. And a funny thing about that too is I was originally slotted at 79 kilograms, which is under that weight, but that weight is not one for SEA Games. So 2 days before the competition, I'm cutting weight. I'm trying to get down to 79. And my teammate Fury is like, hey, that's not like a weight for SEA Games. So you either have to go up to 86 or down to 74, but I can't go down another 5 kilo plus. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm going up 86. So like 2 days before the competition, I had to change weight classes and go up a weight. But it was fine and I felt good and strong and could kind of eat a little more as I was trying to cut weight and now I have to bulk up. So it was good though. Yeah.
Speaking of competing at the 86 kilogram freestyle event, it is a struggle and a big difference to catch up with your condition plus the right nutrition picks, cutting weight, strength and conditioning, and you managed to have a scrimmages with your counterparts during the Japan training camp,
Yes.
coming from the same category because it is a challenge for you to adjust with your weight. Where all of these are big help to reach that peak and prime condition before heading into Thailand. Will you share to us our preparations right after yung ating WAP Nationals for that?
Totally. Yeah. So once I committed that I was going 86 kilo for sure, it was a transition. I had to start changing my diet and weightlifting. So first it was diet and nutrition to eat the right foods, but a lot more of them to put on some weight, and then also lifting a lot to put on the muscle. And so I know I'm already strong, so that was good, but doing a lot of that to then gain extra pounds. So I had, I think, 3 months to prepare. And so 3 to 4 months. So that was my goal to get as big as I could and still feel good though, right? So you got to put on the weight, but then also make it usable for wrestling. So lifting a lot and nutrition, different nutrition leading up to the Japan trip. And then when we went to Japan, it was kind of tapering that strength and weight that I put on into the wrestling side of things. And so that was helpful, but also I was burning a lot more calories then. So then I started to kind of lose my weight again and be under where I was weighing about maybe like 84 kilo and I was going to compete at 86. And that was like eating normally where these other guys will be cutting weight, but I was feeling really good. So my speed was there. I felt really strong. So I wasn't too worried that I might be undersized for this first one going into SEA Games in Thailand. And
Oh,
so, yeah,
okay. So going into the games right now, Gabe is actually won against Ban Trung Bu Tran of Vietnam due to a
Yep.
walkover because your opponent has got injured during that game. And
Yeah.
just before this competition, you managed to beat Thailand and of course Singapore in those matches. And this has actually happened on the last day of the competition, while others were wrestlers won four golds and four bronzes and four silver medals. You were the saving grace for our national team with your first gold, the only gold for the wrestling team. So, tell us what happened this in this event.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that was an amazing experience to I'm I'm bummed my teammates also didn't get gold, but I'm glad I was able to bring it home for us. I was the last match of the finals, so that was crazy. Yeah, the last match of the whole games in the arena. So that was fun too. You know, all the eyes are on you. Um, and it was great. Yeah, wrestling Indonesia first match. I felt really good. The guy was pretty big and strong, but I knew kind of throughout all my matches that I could get guys tired and wear on them. So I ended up getting them tired and was able to then get to my offense and was able to start scoring points and then was able to tech ball that first opponent. And then Singapore was my next one. And same, he was tricky. He like throws and trips in these things. So I knew as I get to my shots, I had to finish quick and get behind him fast. So again, using my techniques and speed, and then also my conditioning to just keep pushing the pace the whole time. And same with him, he kind of started to fade. I'd score my points, and then I was able to beat him. And then Thailand was a tough one too. He came out quick. He got to my leg right away. He actually took a shot in the first like 5 seconds and got to a good single leg. Luckily, I was able to defend it, which was fun. The crowd was screaming and going crazy, which was cool too. But then maybe like 30 or 40 seconds later, I got to my offense and then got to my leg lace from top and rolled him up and was able to beat him 10-0. So that was super cool. And then, yeah, heading into the finals match against Vietnam, it was crazy because Hayden and Chenta was first in the finals against Vietnam also. And he had a close match against his guy from Vietnam, but ended up losing. And then Ranil Kubog, I think he might have also wrestled Thailand and or Vietnam and had a close match also, but ended up losing. And so it was like, all right, I'm the last match. I'm also against Vietnam, so here we go. So I was feeling good. I was ready. I was really excited. At that point in the tournament, I was feeling my best, honestly. I was really feeling good with how I was flowing, how I was moving, how I was getting to my offense. So I was ready to put on a show for sure. Unfortunately, yeah, within the first 5 seconds, I went to snap his arms off of me, and he ended up hurting his elbow. So he had to forfeit after the first like 5 seconds, which was a bummer because I know we both were ready to compete hard in that finals match. But then afterwards, yeah, I won. So that was amazing. Got the gold medal. Running around the mat carrying that Filipino flag was definitely something I'll never forget and like an amazing experience. My dad was also there as my coach, so that was like so amazing that we could both kind of run around carrying that Filipino flag and at the end being able to raise it in front of everyone of being that gold medal for the Philippines for everyone there. I mean, I won it, but it was for the village. It was for the Philippines, it was for my coaches, it was for my teammates, it was for all my supporters, my family, and everyone. So um, that was really like an amazing experience for sure, for sure.
And with you contributed to 50 golds in the recent
Yeah.
SEA Games. Were you surprised that in your debut appearance in the biennial meet, gold kaagad ang nakuha ninyo? And of course, where you sing the national anthem loud and proud, and of course, the mission for Philippine wrestling to strive for excellence will definitely bound with this reaps of products of our best for our Philippine wrestlers there in the recent SEA Games.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, like you said, hearing the national anthem above and standing on the podium with the Philippine flag raised above everyone else's was amazing and just take deep pride in being able to bring that back to the country for us and everyone. So that was, yeah, something that is super grateful for and the opportunities, like you said. So for Chief Alvin to kind of give me this opportunity too to compete for the Philippines and for the wrestling, and then to bring home the gold. So, like you said, now it's like, hey, Philippine wrestling is we're here and we're ready to compete, right? We got one gold medal, we had two silvers, which could have easily been gold. We had a bronze in freestyle, and then we had our females take two silvers and a bronze, and then the two bronze in Greco. Like we're right there, and there's lots of improvement that could happen to where each one of those athletes could get it. We could have all swept gold medals, and so like that's the beauty of it, and to be able to then be in that environment in that room. And then when I'm here training with my teammates, it's like we're all going to start elevating each other, right? And just start getting better and better and better to where we're all competing and winning gold medals. And so, yeah, it's just an amazing experience and kind of being able to show like Philippine wrestling is here. A lot of the athletes that you might not know of are hard workers, grinders, and they're going to start to, you'll start to know their names soon as well, for sure.
Okay, Gabe, after the SEA Games, you went back to the US and then returned home. Can we correct?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. And during your return to the country, you were attended the courtesy call with President Marcos. So could you share to us the feelings, the expectations that you met the president in person?
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, the feelings were again just super excited and almost like unbelievable, right? Like in shock of like what the like what's going on? Like this is crazy. Like just a crazy opportunity and so thankful and grateful for, Philippine wrestling and the Philippines for honoring us like that too. Like that's such an amazing thing and being able to meet the president, shake his hand, meet the first lady, shake her hand, take pictures with them, and my teammates being there with me. Like, oh my gosh, it's just like kind of a loss for words almost of like how exciting and amazing that experience was for sure.
Okay. You still here in the country to attend the 10-day training camp with the Japanese coach. So share to us some updates there. And how
Totally, yeah,
and how does it help for you to have some added knowledge and added expertise going into your 2026 season?
for sure. Yeah, always good. I mean, any extra coaches you can get, you can always pick their brain, right? And the beauty about wrestling is everyone has their own style and their own unique stuff to them. So everyone's unique in that way. So you can always pick their brain and take something a little bit from what they're telling you and apply it, or it might not work, but you can try it and all these things. So always like kind of building your repertoire and kind of adding tools to your tool belt. So yeah, having the Coach Taro here has been great because we can pick his brain, start understanding how he thinks, how he strategizes his techniques also, and then being able to balance that with my techniques and what I think and how I operate. And so then we can kind of build on each other from there. Um, and so that'll be a great opportunity. And then while I've been here too, I've been able to kind of go through the process of getting all the medical forms filled out, start getting all the banking information filled out. So then it can slot
Okay.
in for the national team stuff.
Okay, so 2026 season is around the corner. So based on your advices of your coaches and even the WAP management, what are the targeted competitions you look to join? And of course, the dream of everyone, of course, to give it all out to have a chance of getting a berth into the 2028 LA Olympics despite a different path of course, competition rules, regulations, and competition wise, the other opponents from your 76 or maybe 84 category, if you wish to compete, are stepping up to change the game and to compete against you with at the same level as you before. So, what are the plans for 2026 season per game?
Totally. Yeah. The plans are, yeah. So first one is to get bigger. So I'm going to commit to going 86 kilo because for the Olympics, that's the weight class. So I'm on a strict weightlifting plan and a diet plan right now of lots of nutrition, healthy nutrition, and then lots of weightlifting to put on the muscle and the weight. So I'm trying to gain about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and weight to then be a strong, solid 86 kilo wrestler. So that's the main goal. And then from there, we're looking at first competition potentially being Asian Championships in April. Um, if I can't put on the weight and feel good wrestling with that weight before then I will look to compete in the summer. There's a couple tournaments around then. There's some ranking series tournaments to help build, like you said, those seeding points for the World Championships. And then there's also some other tournaments that will just help experience and more competition overseas. So those are looking at like a Spanish Grand Prix in Spain potentially. There's a German Prix in Germany. Any local ones here in the Philippines, I'll definitely be doing as well. That'll be, I think, in March, like that one I was talking about. And then it's all in prep for Asian Games. So that'll be in October in Japan. And so really looking forward and excited to that one. And then World Championships is another big one that'll be the end of October in Bahrain. And so those are the two main ones towards the end of this year that will be the main ones that I'll be prepping for throughout the year while hitting other competitions for those.
A jam-packed calendar for you and to the rest of
Yeah.
our national team that aiming for the Olympic spots, and we definitely support them as we go along. And one of the another reason that you chosen to play for the Philippines is to give back to our Philippine wrestling
Yeah.
community, hopefully by providing clinics or simple talks and visits to different gyms to serve inspiration to our young people, especially those who are eager to compete not just locally, nationally, and maybe sooner internationally. So we're there going to plan it out, and of course with the support na rin ng ating WAP management.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I would love to do that. That is one of the main reasons too I chose to compete, to continue to compete even after college, and then pursue obviously the Philippines as well as to get back to help Philippine wrestling as a whole, not just within the national team, but then start, like you said, going to those local clubs and teaching clinics and showing these kids, um, yeah, skills and techniques to help better them and build their confidence. And they can then start to pick my brain about my experiences and I can talk to them and we can all kind of learn from each other. That's the beauty of wrestling is I can learn from kids as well still too, and I can learn from adults. I can learn from anyone, and they can also learn from me. So it's just a great experience to kind of collaborate all together. And so, yeah, definitely in the future when I am here, we'll plan out kind of doing stuff like that and doing clinics and going around to other provinces and teaching kids wrestling, which would be amazing.
Gabe, one last question before we wrap it up. Uh, you were committed to play for the Philippines for at least 5 to 10 years, or just after you reach hopefully the gold medal for the Philippines. Is this the plan for you? And to of course to go all out and to give the best performance that we can ever attend for this competition. For those competitions you want to join.
Yes, totally. Yep. Yeah, the plan is to go out, compete my best, and yeah, I'm preparing and planning to win gold. I mean, that's the goal. I know if I am at my best and competing my best and prepare how I know how to prepare, I will come home with gold. And so, um, just making sure, yeah, I have the right preparation. I'm feeling solid and good, healthy, and just gonna go out there and compete my best. I know when I'm at my best, like very few people can beat me. And so, yeah, it's great. And it's kind of the beauty of it too is it's all in preparation for the Olympics for 2028. So whether I go out and I win every competition this year or there'll be some bumps in the road, I'm sure, and then you got to build yourself back up, but it's all in prep for 2028 and just to make me yeah, a better athlete and a better person, obviously, and sharpen my mind so then when 2028 comes along, I'm the best I can ever be and have the best shot of making the Olympics and then the ultimate goal of winning the Olympics for the Philippines.
All right. So thank you so much, Gabe, for having us here. 2025 SEA Games Gold is just the beginning of your immersive road into the Olympics. And by the way, you will getting the special citation from the Philippine Sports Writers Association Awards for your gold medal finish happening on February 16th sa Diamond Hotel Manila. You were actually part of the special citations na for the upcoming awards. So it's your turn to thank all those who have supported you and let me express also my congratulations on your gold medal victory. So take it away, Gabe. You want to thank all those who supported, especially yung ating mga kaibigan sa FilAm Sports.
Yeah, totally. I mean, thank you so much for having me and conducting this for sure. Yeah, definitely. I thank FilAm Sports for all their support for sure. Obviously, Philippine Sports Commission and the Philippine Olympic Committee and the government for sponsoring us, getting those trips to Japan and those training camps, flying us to Thailand, helping us, you know, prepare and be the best shape that we can to compete at our highest level. And then, of course, thank you to all the coaches for the from the Philippines, all my teammates, all my coaches from back home in the U.S. as well, my dad, family, wife. Like it takes a village to be able to do what I'm doing and compete at my level. And so it's like, yeah, I won the gold medal and I got to be up there on the podium, but it's really a multitude of people who are actually up there with me and deserve that gold medal as much as I do because I could not do it without the huge support of so many individuals to name. And so, yeah, I appreciate you for giving me that opportunity to kind of thank everyone and bring me on here to talk a little bit and share my story and for people to get to know me a little more. And yeah, hopefully it continues and I can continue to represent the Philippines and compete my best and get after it.
By the way, Gabe, you want to also thank the Philippine Sports Writers Association for that special citation, please.
Of course, yeah. Huge thanks, of course, to Filipino sports writers. Like, I know they take their time and energy to look into who we are and get to know us and support us. Like, without them, we could win gold, and most people might not know still, other than who is there. And so it's huge to help have that support to them, get our name out there, get people's eyes on us, which helps us with other sponsorships and future opportunities to then go to those other competitions. So yeah, of course, a huge, huge thanks to Filipino sports writers, and um, yeah, it's just great. And I think that relationship will continue to grow and be an amazing opportunity, especially as we talked about, like with those clinics and all of that, to give back to the community. I mean, that's what this is all about. It is about obviously end of the day, we want to win, we want to win gold, we want to compete at our best, but it's all about giving back and for that next generation and to the Philippines and the nation as a whole. So yeah.
So we claim a gold medal in Asian Games and maybe an Olympic berth in LA. We are definitely prayed for it, and of course, we're
Yes, thank
looking
you.
forward for a bright 2026 season, more energetic, more action-packed 2026 per game as you step again into the wrestling mats with a brighter hope and a better future ahead for Gabe and the rest of the Philippine wrestling team. Thank you for granting us this interview, and we have another SEA Games medalist coming up at 8:30 for another last interview for today. So thank you so much, Gabe, and see you around, and we'll catch up with you again pag meron ka na ulit na medal sa malakihang
Yeah,
competition.
yeah, thank you so much. Maraming salamat for sure, and I appreciate you so much.
Alright, take care and God bless. Bye-bye po. Maraming salamat.
Okay, bye. Thank you po.